I remember a scenario in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. I got this girl real drunk, and
that sentence sounds a little fishy. I got her drunk.
I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish Fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. She was drunk as shit, and we had sex and shit, and like a lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and fuck up. I'm like, nah, chill, like I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to train her. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So
it's just one-on-one. It ain't right.
Yeah. So the next
trains are right.
So the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, we had sex. She said, okay, well, I'm glad it was you. Then a couple days later, she's like, yo, are you sure I only had sex with you? And one of my stupid ass cousins was going around saying he did what he did. I know for a fact he did. I was there the whole time. Yeah. He did not. Yeah. He looked at her naked, but he didn't, right? So I'm telling her, no, me and you just had sex, nobody else did nothing. So it just was weird that she was like, oh, I'm just glad it was you. Listen,
was she passed out while you fucked her?
Nah, she wasn't coherent, but she was up. You know when your girl just, like when you're blacked out, like that, don't know what the fuck's going on type, like she was really.
She was awake and she was into it.
She was wasted.
What up, y'all? It is Ash, your boy Remix Reek, in this Panache Talk podcast. And yep, that was Charlamagne and God talking about his rape case that happened in 2001 in South Carolina. Yeah, that's a crazy story. And then he says it all nonchalant and laughing about it. But yeah, I have the girl side of the story too. Her name is Jessica Reid. So I'm about to play that right now.
15 years old. He told me he was 20. Just finding out recently he was actually 22 years old at time. Our relationship was strictly platonic. We were friends and only friends. We are at Tree Haven Apartments. This is where Charlamagne came to meet my mom for the first time. Came upstairs to this apartment here to my left. Came to meet my mother, spoke to her, introduced himself. And on that day, he took me and my best friend out to lunch to a Chinese buffet. I knew him about maybe, I want to say a month and a half before the incident.
He also, during that time when he introduced himself to me, he said that he would watch over them and promised they would be fine, and I had nothing to worry about, that they would be safe with him.
Okay, pause for a second. All right, it's more footage and I'm about to play that. But the only problem I have right there is, all right, mom, you're the mom. Your daughter's 15. The guy's 20-something years old, 22. He might have lied and said he was 20. But still, that doesn't raise a red flag for your 15-year-old daughter. But anyway, I'm going to let the story carry on.
June 2001. As you can see, in order to access the villa, you need a military pass. Someone by the name of Derek Major got the villa for Charlamagne that night. I know Charlamagne repeatedly says that this party was for a cousin of his named Kenta Palmer, but I was told from Charlamagne himself that this party was for him. It was his birthday. That's the only reason I came. The first thing I noticed is there were just a whole bunch of guys there. I think there were 2 other females, but they were in the back outside, and I could see them through the sliding door, but it was majority guys. Villa number 30, this is where the party was. Me and Malika walked into the party with Charlamagne. Gave Malika and I the drinks. He himself made those drinks. He told me that I could trust him. I was like his sister. He would let nothing happen to me that night. He repeatedly asked me over and over and over if I wanted to drink, and even after telling him no several times, he still pressured me. I finally took a drink. Now, mind you, I'm 15 years old. I'm a child. I'm a minor. I'm being pressured into drinking by someone who I thought I could trust. I let my guards down, and I said, you know what? This is my friend. He won't let anything happen to me. And he betrayed me. he allowed his friends or cousins or whoever those guys were to take advantage of me.
At this point, she started feeling incoherent, a little wobbly, so she decided to go to the bathroom.
And I said, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. This is what I told myself. And when I got up to go to the bathroom, I fell to the floor. I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't move my arms. It's like I had no control over my limbs. I could see and I could hear, but I couldn't move. So I heard the guys in the back and they were laughing, and Charlamagne was laughing. And he told them to take me upstairs. Taken upstairs by two guys, one named Larry and one named Boo, who took me into a bathroom and violated me and took advantage of me. And they had my arms like this. One was here and one was here. And they were holding me up because I couldn't hold myself up. And I had a dress on. I had one arm like this, and Larry was holding me up. And Boo had this other arm, but with his other hand, he was just forcing his fingers in my vagina. And I was just sitting there helpless. I couldn't do nothing. That's why it's so hard. Like, as I'm saying it, it's replaying in my head and I can see it happening. Charlamagne. He was kissing me everywhere. And I'm laying there crying. And he's like trying to shush me. But he left. And then Charlamagne came into the room. And I saw Charlamagne's face with my own eyes. When he opened that door, I saw his face. I saw his face. I heard his voice while he was raping me. There's nothing that nobody can say. And started taking off my clothes. And started talking to me in the process. And he kept saying things like, I told you I was going to take care of you and nothing was going to happen to you. Larry. No, excuse me. I didn't know what my clothes were. And I think I started yelling or something. And Larry told me to shut the fuck up before he kicked me in the head. And I was like, where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? And he said, Larry said, ain't nobody do nothing to you. You just acting crazy for no reason. And I just kept saying, where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? I just started screaming. And then when I started screaming, everybody ran. Everybody left. Everybody left.
It's a crazy story, y'all. So everybody left. Everybody rolled out after she started screaming. But her friend Malika Joyner that was there, I'm going to play a clip and let y'all hear her side of the story. She was there too. She came with her. Like, where was she at doing all this stuff that was happening?
Yelling and screaming, a lot of noise, and like something wasn't right. So that's what made me get up to go find Jessica. And in the process of me finding Jessica, I did see Charlamagne on top of Jessica, and Jessica was very hysterical. Oh gosh, it was horrible.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, man. I never even knew about that. So I could just imagine y'all listening into the story that didn't know about this either. And like, he's a big hypocrite. You know, he be talking about rapists and stuff on the Breakfast Club show, and the whole time he had a rape case himself. But basically, it got thrown out, and he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, but denied any sexual assault took place. So basically, he ended up for, taking that plea. He got 3 years probation. Nothing. Slap on the wrist, and she also did a rape kit, and he had no DNA was on her. Well, none of his DNA was on her, and also witnesses protested that he had been left the party. So he had people looking out for him. The only discrepancy with me is when he explained the story. So that's crazy. Like, man, if this nigga did that, then you a wild nigga to me. I mean, but let me know what y'all think. Do you think he did it? Do you think he didn't? Because it is stories where girls do some hoish acts, and then later on they think about what they had done after they've been teased about it, or the rumors pop out and everybody know about it, and then they yell rape. That has happened in the history of rape cases, unfortunately. But let me know what y'all think. I think it's a crazy story, man. But I'm really curious what y'all think. Also, before I leave, I'm gonna play the Charlamagne audio again. It's your boy Remix Reek, Panache Talk Podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and comment. And I'm gone.
I remember a scenario in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I got this girl real drunk, and
that sentence sounds a little fishy. I got her drunk.
I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish Fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. She was drunk as shit, and we had sex and shit, and a lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and fuck. I'm like, nah, chill. I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to train her. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
it's just one-on-one. It ain't right.
Yeah. So the next
trains are right.
So the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, we had sex. She said, okay, well, I'm glad it was you. Then a couple days later, she's like, yo, are you sure I only had sex with you? And one of my stupid ass cousins was going around saying he did what he did. I know for a fact he did. I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
He did not. Yeah. He looked at her naked, but he didn't. Right? So I'm telling her, no, me and you just had sex. Nobody else did nothing. So it just was weird that she was like, I'm just glad it was you. Listen,
was she passed out while you fucked her?
Nah, she wasn't coherent, but she was up. When your girl just, when you're blacked out, like that, don't know what the fuck's going on type. She was really.
She was awake and she was into it.
She was wasted.